Okay then, so we have got, I believe, 2 nobles, don't we? We've got Fatina Decay, and we've also got Talival. Now, I have adjusted the naming game price. I believe we have a region that's still needing to be renamed. Correct me if I'm wrong about that. But I would also like to standardize some of our housing a little bit for the different races. So, like, we'll have a standard build of a cluster of houses for Talapis, standard build for Kryptonian, Dondorian, and humans. Oh, is it just exclamation mark commands add? I know it's edit com. My bad. But thank you, Mai. Where would we be at 9 without Mai? Well, I know where you'd be, having to tell people manually whether I'd heard about the DLC or not. Right, so I made the shrine to Shmalor. We have got some... Do we even have the slaves still? We have got some Argonashi slaves. We've got 5 of them. We've basically got the most intimidating guards possible. The Argonash are basically doing the jobs of guard spider tanks. Let me go and find some of them. I love the fact that your characters do have physical traits. That lizard has got a tail, for example. This Argonashi spider is just, you know... It's a trader. Why is the Argonashi spider a trader? I thought I told you to be guards. Specifically, I wanted intimidating spider tank guards. My lord. But it's very clear that we're not going to be able to easily attract Argonash settlers. How we're going to deal with that, I don't know. Basically, for as long as we've got slaves, we will never have Argonash join us willingly as free peoples. And to get Argonash to want to join us, we would need to have some very, very specific requirements met. If I have a look at the havens. So, to get a haven, I'd need Shmalorism to be above 80%. To have 32 or more food days worth of food in storage, have 80%, above 80% food rations, temple satisfaction, 70% dread. I've already got the population I would need, and again, can have no Argonash slaves. I mean, we could go with the Argonash, but at that point, you may as well, you know, decide between the two. Do you want Argonash or do you want Cantors? The mythical giants. We could get Cantors by having Arthurism as a high religious value in all of our settled lands. Have lots of temple access, lots of ore from our buildings, and make sure that those who are found guilty, who are arrested for crimes are judged. We've already got 2 of the requirements for the Cantors. We have 1 of the requirements for the Argonash. I don't know, but I kind of like the idea of having giant spiders as part of our army. Call me crazy, I guess, but... Right now, the humidifiers, the only reason they exist are for the Argonash slaves. That is purely it. It's the only reason they're there at all. Yeah, Tynan posted a teaser about the RimWorld DLC very recently. Right. Now, if we have a look at the needs of our populace, I think that's going to be a good place to start. We've currently got just shy of 1,000 citizens, and we've got 46 slaves. We have a look at the Talapis. We can see that they're fairly happy with their access levels. I could increase food rations if I wanted to. Not super into that idea right now. We haven't got that much food coming in. They've got good access for their housing. Furniture's at 42%, which is decent. We can have a look at the general... Well, actually, we can have a look at all, in fact, to see the general situation. Nobility is looking good. This is liked by your plebeians. Higher values equal more fulfillment. Former slaves. None of our population are former slaves. We have got a... Well, actually... The majorities are starting to shimmy around. We haven't got a clear majority for anyone. The Talapis are a little bit further ahead. They were the ones that we started with. But we have slowly introduced many other people. This is quite a diverse population in our cities. Now that comes with its own problems to manage, but I think we're up to it. But it does mean that trying to push for something like the Argonaut is gonna be hard. Getting cantors would be a lot easier, I think, because the Argonaut are great with the Garthemis, because they have a lot of similarities, whereas the cantors have a lot of similarities, or at least they have more of an overlap on the Venn diagram with desires with the other peoples of the world, where the Argonaut have that with the Garthemis. Do we have a church, and is it great? Yes. And no. I mean, no and yes. Yeah, actually, we could give them some better retirement ages. That would actually be solid choice. All right, as for our military, we've got a decent military right now. We've got 20 ranged Talapis who are currently training. They're going to have 40 melee training, 40% rather, which they're almost at, and 50% archery training, which, again, almost at, which I'm very happy to see. They've got very good access to bows right now. Sadly, I can't actually see, because we're pulling all the bows in here, I can't see exactly how... Oh, there we go, I can see them now. But I wonder if I should have storage elsewhere, instead of just always popping them straight into the army depots. That's a tricky one, because that's where a lot of our clothing is going right now as well. We are starting to fill up the other areas, but still, it's not great. There is going to be a big change to the way that armies and especially mercenaries work in the coming update, which is another big reason why, you know, just getting and finishing this off now ahead of that big change is going to be, I think, a nice, a good idea for us. Not that I actually use mercenaries, in fact, I intentionally don't, but it would be nice to see how the game is rebalanced around mercenaries not being as powerful as they currently are. Right, let's have a look at where we are in terms of our technology to remind ourselves. Probably want to increase maintenance if I get the chance. We have got paper making. We do not yet have schools. We're going to need to get some administrative buildings up and running. Don't have retirement homes, and they're a little ways off for now. But we have a lot of other goodness. We've got a lot of the maker industries already established, which I'm happy with. If we have a look on the map at Kinners, again, this is up for a rename. But presently, we are up to 602 people. To get to the next town hall, we need 1.2k, and presently we are aiming only for 1.7. To get this, I would need a larger workforce. That may be difficult. Slaver has arrived. I mean, I could sell some of our slaves. The nursery here... It's giving me a lot more workforce, actually, already. As the population increases, the workforce will go up. Is there anything else I'd be able to build? I don't know. We'll have to look into this one. Because it's a small area, though. So this one's never really going to be that big. So we might not be able to do too much with it, but getting it up to the second level is definitely somewhere where I would like to be. And outside of that, what I would then like is probably one of these to be imported. We can perhaps tailor our population here a little bit. For example, the problem is if I too strongly persecute or try to remove a certain race out of an area, because much the same way as with our capital, housing is more efficient if you have a kind of a monolithic, like a low diversity of species, because if you've got one human and one Kryptonian, and you've got two longhouses, they will occupy both longhouses, one each, because they won't intermingle inside a home. And so they are much less space efficient when you have high diversity. However, I don't really want to, lose the loyalty of the Dondorians across my entire realm as a consequence of removing them from here. But they're not really a good workforce out and about. The reason for that is that they don't really excel at any basic resource gathering. Talapis do, not so much humans. Kryptonians do, the Garthemis do, the Amevias do. But Dondorians are more production. They're great to have at your capital because they are such good workers there, and they can turn the raw materials into better products, but they're not good at getting the raw materials, except for mining, which I guess actually, yeah, they are good at that. They just dislike it. And I often conflate liking doing a job with being good at it. Hey, Tubman, how you doing, mate? And thank you so much for the 30 months. 30 months of tier 3, my lord. Hey there, good Aavak, just dropping in before bed. Have an amazing stream. You have an amazing night, mate. It was wonderful to see you in chat. And Whitehammer, thank you very much for the 67 months. I don't know if I called that earlier, but thank you. Bretsky, thank you as well for the Prime sub. Okay, well, presently, cash-wise, we're not doing great. We need to start bringing in more material from the outside world and having that help. Let's go to double speed. Having that inflate our economy a bit. We want to be producing stuff here and selling it made of the stuff that we get from our kind of vassal regions. We don't want to have to be buying materials, but we are buying materials right now. In some cases, we're having to buy them to maintain a presence of those stocks. We do want to gather coal ourselves, at least for now, because coal is such an important resource for us in making our own tools, which we were. Let's have a look. What's happening with that then? Looks like the metal smelter has no ore and no money to get it either. Alright, Slaver is here. I'm not going to... Well, I could get rid of the Argonash, I guess. Let me see which slaves we have. So, we've got 23 Kryptonians, 18 humans. If we have a look at our legal system, by and large, we will enslave humans and Kryptonians if they commit crimes. Whereas, well, we don't actually enslave them that much. Most peoples will be sent to prison, at which point they will be rehabilitated eventually, or they'll be sent to the fighting pits. We don't execute anyone. So yeah, I think we'll be rid of our slaves. There we go. It's a nice chunk of cash. Same here, nice chunk of cash. It's going to put us in the negative on workers, which does suck a bit, but we can take 7 humans straight away. We can also take 1 Kryptonian. Can we take a couple of Dondorians as well? That'll do for now. There we go. That'll help out a little bit. But that money can then immediately be used, well, hopefully, to buy some items. In fact, if we head out to the map, we should be able to see things on their way. Maybe. No, actually, we've got nothing coming into us, which is a bit of an interesting one. Hey, Arisal, thank you so much for the 42 months. Yay, for more Songs of Syx. I'll have to catch up with the VODs later. Have a lovely evening, Aavak and Dapper Folk. Oh, you too. Have a wonderful night. Anyone else's stream stuck on the title screen? I've stopped the app and started again. Hopefully it's working for everyone. Seeing no errors on my end in terms of the encoding or broadcasting. Right, how are the janitors going? I think they're slowly getting stuff sorted. We'll see. My fond hope is that these janitors can get... Yeah, they're working through these areas, gradually getting to the other rooms. So have a nice look at the map, see where we need work. Doing okay over there. Actually, we've got a lot of work to be done down there. We'll get it done, though. A lot of work down here as well needed. Fair chunk of work over on this side as well. Maybe we need a little janitor down here. Maybe even a couple of houses for the Amevias down there. And maybe some more housing for the farmers down here. We've got a couple of spots in this area. I think that might not be a bad idea, actually. Alright, let's go ahead and get in a little janitor area. Well, actually, no. We need to wait a little bit more on population. I will take the 7 Kryptonians, the 2 Dondorians, and the 6 humans. That will give us a very, very humble odd jobber workforce. We want a janitor down here. Since this is more Kryptonian area, we want this one to be made of wood for the harmony, and we want it to be a bit of an odd shape if we can make that happen. A bit more of an organic shaped building. Let's go for something like this. I forget how big the workstation is. It's 5. Okay, so we're going to want to expand this out just a wee bit. There we go. Workstation up there. 5 janitors is almost certainly all we're going to need. Pop that in, and then there, that gives us everything we want. And we'll have 2 doors on this side, and that should be more than enough access for the Kryptonians. The other thing that might be nice is to have a little stockpile of resources so that they can actually use that to repair things. And that is not something that rather, it's something I'm very guilty of, is not accounting for the stockpile for repairers. And it is a fair ways to get over to this one, so... That being said, there's a potential bridge here. Sure, let's make a little bridge, and we'll just leave it at that for now. So that little bridge can just go down here. In fact, we'll widen it a bit. There we are. Double wide bridge heading across. Hello, Sir Wallslayer. Right, so that janitor should do well for us, and then we honestly want housing over here, as well as a little janitor. So, right, let's have a look. Since I'm going to be building this for the Amevians, I want to have a bit of a better idea of what they like and what they do not like. Religion, actually, they're not too bad with Shmalorism. They don't care for mountains. They like warm. Not going to really have that for you. They like grand buildings or mud buildings. Rightio. Do you care about roundness? Roundness. No, you don't care for roundness. Okay. Alright. You do care for roads. Pretty much everyone does. Okay, well, the thing with mud buildings is they take an enormous amount of work to maintain. So it's almost better to give them, and I know this sounds crazy, but grand buildings for the ore. But these are expensive of a relatively precious resource that we use for selling. Whereas we go for mud buildings, this room requires to be built into blah, blah, blah. Very basic structure made out of mud, dirt, and manure. Does not require any resources, but a lot of labor. I'm not sure if it actually has to have maintenance in the same way other things do. But let's go... Like, if it requires more maintenance and that's how they account for the extra labor, or if it simply needs a bit more... if it just needs more labor to put it together, that is. We'll do something like that, I think. There we go. We can have some roads around the back then. I think that'll look nice. We'll build out a road going along here. There's the bridge. There we go. And we'll have a little road going up and around. That should be good. I can maybe add in some light over there. Some roads leading up here. Let's go for decorations. Sure, let's pop a little bit of light. A little bit of light on that corner and on this corner as well. And then we can have a nice big tree here. And, well, I would like one a little bit further along, but that's fine. It doesn't need to be perfectly symmetrical. I know, shock horror, but I said it. There we are. And then we're going to want a janitor down here as well. Janitor building can be just down here, I think. Something like this. And as this one, again, we're not going to need a lot going on here, so this should be good enough. I almost want to move this across, actually. So let me just copy area. And if I pop it there instead, that will be a better fit for me, I think. So I'll remove all of this. There we go. And we can pop down the roads. And that'll include a road all the way down and around this area here. Maybe even a road going across right to the edge of the water. So our fishes can have easy access. Not sure. Have you made the larger 4 square lights? Oh yeah, they illuminate enormous amounts, yeah. I've got some around the place over here, for example. Right, okay. Now, time to let peeps get work done. Let's get some more Dondorians in, some more humans in. There we go. Now, of course, it is nicer if you don't have to bring in migrants, because they just prefer that. They prefer people to be native-born. But I don't really worry about that one too much, if I'm perfectly honest. Especially early on. It's a hard one to justify. Right, can I have a look at maintenance? Alright, they've got a good bit of work done down there. There's a lot of work needed in these areas. But the janitors around these areas are doing good. Likewise, in here, I think the janitors are doing a decent job. Where is the janitor there? Is there no janitor up here? Am I just being blind? That might account for quite a few things. Oh, they're getting the work done now at the very least. This one will take a while to do, but yeah, we've got to have a janitor somewhere. Otherwise, these places would be in like rack and ruin already. I'm just not really seeing where they are. Seeing lots of bedrooms, but not lots of workshops. Regardless. Oh, there we go. And it was right there. Right there, all along. But yeah, that one's quite close to an area which has resources, so they're able to maintain things well. I would have imagined that one of these would be as well, but apparently not. So perhaps 'tis now time for me to make sure that we have got a stockpile for our maintainers. I only found out about resizing decorations from you, and was surprised at the light one the most. Oh yeah, it seems... It doesn't scale as one might imagine, from going from a 1-tile item to a 4-tile item. Because you might imagine that, oh, it's just expanding times 2 in each direction, but it seems to have a much larger effect than that in the service area. We're already way down on money, but we did manage to bring in some coal and some iron, so it looks like they're already turning that into iron, which they then work into tools. Which is very, very good. We need more. We always need more going on. I don't think, sadly, and I am starting to think that maybe we do need to say goodbye to the Argonosh slaves. I'm not sure they're the right fit for us. Right, 2 would be better, I think. And over here, as soon as this is built, we'll have 2 there as well. But these take much more time to make. The domain of Galero. We, the ruler of Galero, see that you are trading with Paphilia. Sadly, this is not in our interest. I demand that you cease trade with this faction immediately. Right, we've got to inform them within 1 day of our decision. Let's have a quick look on the map. Actually, let's go to factions. Let's have a look at our factions. Right, so you, a Diddy 5, like, this is the entirety of their area is just to the north of us. 582 souls are demanding that I stop trading with 28,000, almost 29,000 people. No. I'm afraid that I've considered your request, but no. So let's go and chat with them. Decline. That will make them a little bit sour towards us, but honestly, our military could probably take this right now. In an even fight, our military could take this, I think. So I'm not too concerned. I am strongly looking forward to the way things are going to upgrade with the next update in terms of diplomacy and such. I would like to make sure that this is upgraded to wood. But yeah, our money situation is actually kind of dire. And a big part of that is that we are importing lots of resources. Specifically, we're importing ore and coal. We're not exporting enough. We do have a couple of places set to export. I'm going to say you should probably export earlier. I do not need to have... Well, let's keep 200 items available to us. Meat, that's fine. All the fish and such, that's all okay. But it's the ore, I think, is really hurting us for the import. That and the opiates. Now, we import the opiates in order to make sure that our hospital is well stocked. And our hospital is is actually saving lives, so it's an important one to have. Alright, why is that not working? Oh, it is. Now that we've actually got coal there. Go. People can go and clean themselves. Alright, these places are starting to look a lot better maintained now, I think. Let's have a look in on our military. We are up to 43 of the 50% of archery training we wanted. We might even want to go out on another attack, if I'm honest. But let's go and check in on our little region down here. It's going to take us a while to build this up, unfortunately. Only the Dondorians' population is increasing. Sad. We're only going to be able to get them up to about 1k at the moment. Having this place is currently not helping us in any way. We do not need that much health. We can drop that down. Frees up a little bit of population. Not enough to do too much with, but a little bit. Could increase happiness, but I'm not sure that would really help us in this scenario. It would increase loyalty with our various populations, but that isn't really going to increase the number of people living here. This is just a small infertile area. I could get this, and it's going to drop the loyalty of my most of my subjects, but it will drastically increase the capacity of the area. And it might push us above the 1.2 we need. I'd be interested to see if I added that in there. Exactly 1.2. Exactly the amount we need. Okay. But it is going to cause my other populations to shrink a bit. And therein is the trick. I need to try and prevent the population growth from declining too aggressively. Because loyalty dropping is not great, obviously. So I could cancel this instead, just to keep the general loyalty up there. And instead just focus on getting some sort of delivery coming in. Gotta get eggs being brought in, for example. No, I think keeping that and aiming for the 1.2k we need. I might need to move my army across to help out maintain loyalty, but that's something that we can do. Now, this region over here it looks much more fertile and is a much bigger area. This is half the size, but the seams of it much less fertile. Actually, no, they're on par fertility-wise, but it's half as big. And that's impacting how many people we can get in here. So we're having to struggle to try and get a large enough population that I can expand this place. Whereas we might be able to just march on this place. And then we've also got this one over here as well. It's not that much bigger. It's not as fertile. It does have access to coal and stone, though. Both things that we want. This one has access to gems. This one really had access to nothing but the ability to open trade with someone else, which was the sole reason we took it. At this point, they are going to be the larger population, the Garthemis, in this settlement. Humans there, Talapis there, Dondorians here. Let's have a look. We've got a lot of stuff coming in. 160 stone, 160 clay, 128 coal, 224 cotton, 128 herbs, 96 opiates, and 96 ore. But I'm strongly considering sending our army out to march on the settlement, the Dondorian settlement, try and take that one. Because that doesn't break off any current trading ties we have. We want more trade partners, basically, so we can get better deals. Do we have emissaries? I don't believe we do. Trains emissaries that can be sent on foreign missions. Let's make this a thing we do. We're going to tuck that in here, I think, somewhere. This wouldn't give us that much of an area to play with, but I'm alright with it. And we could bring that all the way up here. Something like this. We'll make this one out of stone. These workstations are huge, and it really is a case of they are this big, or, well, that would be okay. How many? This will give me 5 employees. I don't know how many emissaries that'll give, maybe just 5, but for now, that's probably enough. There we go. Let's get that on the go. That's going to require paper on an ongoing basis, I should imagine. Hopefully it's such a small amount of paper, though, that they're easily able to gather it. We will see. Right now, we don't really have much of a rhyme or reason to our districts. And that's something I want to change in the future. But for the time being, I just want to get things rolling on the global stage. Thing is, we've actually got really nice coal deposits here. It's just setting up a mine is incredibly labor intensive. I would much rather someone else do the mining and send me the produce than me mine it ourselves. So because of that, I think it's going to be better for us to go and just take the Dondorans. How are things going over here? Yeah, we've got a couple of folks that have been arrested. We had 3 vandals there. Thefts. Nothing too terrible so far. Crime is, generally speaking, not an issue that we're having to struggle with. Oh, I say that, of course. I had to open my big mouth. A murder has occurred, but this murder is different. The victim is a Talapi by the name of Isuddin Hagiri. The body was found with its eyes removed. Perhaps this was done while the victim was alive, but we're hoping it was post-mortem. What is even more disturbing is the note that was left. We must hope and pray that this criminal is found and stopped. Today I have saved a soul. I will take many souls before my great work is complete. Please, mortals, do not even attempt to stop me in my work. You are like mere flies, and only a slight annoyance. I am beyond any of you. I am Jake, the Invincible. God damn it, Jake. Why? Hey, Izda, how you doing, mate? And Ica, thank you ever so much for the raid, buddy. Welcome, welcome. How you doing, man? Also, it looks like I haven't streamed in so long that my events feed hadn't loaded in. But welcome, Raiders. We are being pestered by Jake the Invincible, as you probably just saw. Now, the problem is, as far as I know, there isn't actually a way to check who did the murder. Like, there's no clues you can actually sleuth out. It's just pure randomness whether the person that gets accused is the perpetrator or not. And it's just like, you roll the dice. Do you torture them into confessing? Or just say, no, look, I don't know who it was. Let's just hope they finish up soon and don't kill too many people. Because that literally is, as far as I'm aware, your only option. Which isn't a good option. In my opinion, it's a bad option. Let's get some more gathering done, I think. I want to fell some trees over here. Top up that wood supply so that we don't have to worry about it for a while. They hint that if you have guards covering everything, you should be good on the low front. Is there a way for me to see that? I mean, if I select my guards, over here isn't covered, and the outsides of these areas isn't either. Down here isn't covered at all. Same over here. So yeah, we do need some more guards around the place. That's a fair one. Probably on this end and this end of my my current setup, we need some extra guard stations. Maybe one over here wouldn't be a bad idea. Pop a wee guard post. Maybe a less than wee guard post. Maybe a moderate guard post about here. Okay, I think maybe down here is a better place to pop it. We'll pop one about there. Right behind all of the archery targets, because, you know, that's not going to cause any trouble at all. This is just extra archery practice for our archers. Like, hey, don't miss, and otherwise you might hit one of the police, and they bear grudges. Well, it'll take them a while to set up. Are we still making tailored stuff? Yeah, we are. Good. We are bringing it in. It's just not very quickly, sadly. Maybe we should get some more. Oh, yeah, we've only got one Auroch pasture. Oh, no wonder we don't have much in the way of leather then. Dudes, thank you ever so much for the 26 months, mate. Diolch yn fawr. But yeah, another Auroch pasture, I think maybe somewhere around here would be a good choice. Maybe even one down there, perhaps. No, I think another Auroch pasture around here. That being said, I mean, that might be a good point for us to start taking the road out to Amiga Drakon Grove, where we were going to have all the Talapis live. Possibility. Let's look at fertility base, because that's going to dictate the best areas. Okay, so we've got a big fertility base over here. So let's go ahead and set up another big pasture for Aurochs. Start around here. That. All the way along, and we'll start following more of the high fertility areas. Should be able to make this gigantic based on this fertility. Up into this area. Really, do we have that much more room? My God, we can make this gigantic. Really gigantic. Like, oh, there we are. I spoke too soon. Got a habit doing that, apparently. I believe if you make your building square, you can fit more stuff in. I don't, because I like the aesthetic of things being a bit more organically shaped. And the best way I've found of making something truly organically shaped is following the fertility, the ground fertility. Go. Because then it's not just an odd shape for the sake of being an odd shape. I want a big old hut right there. I'll have Some big troughs around there. Nice big old hut over here. And that's all we need. I'm still going to add one over there just because it looks nice. Alright, there we go. Dunk. We might need to add some more homes over on this side. I don't know yet. Let's go ahead and get this all roaded up. And then definitely on this side, bring the road out. You'd have it go all the way down here and connect up to the road by here. Oh yeah, that's awesome. People can walk past that little pool there, cool off a little bit. I can have it. All the mention of tilapia makes me want tilapia fish. Not the first person to comment on that, actually. It's a fairly common one. We very clearly need more bakeries, though. Like, way more bakeries. Where are our bakeries? This is the only bakery we've got currently. Definitely need more then. If I put a bakery, it would be fitting because it's right next to the arena, you know, bread and circuses and all that. But I think we're going to put the bakery over here instead, right next to the ration maker. So let's get a nice big old bakery going. Refinery. Now, eventually, this is kind of what you want to be the only thing happening in your capital is production buildings like these. Like that. And something like this. Actually, let's rotate these around the other way. I might not even want that. Just drop that in there. Drop one in there. Can I get a nice big chunky storage? Yep. I might be able to pop that there. No. Okay, let's pop the chunky storage here. Make 2 doors in. Now I'm going to want auxiliary ovens. Really? Yep. And wow, okay. We're gonna need to make this a lot bigger. This is already 24 people though. Try and add some more down here then. The larger ovens. Brings it down to 70. But 34. And I can possibly get enough auxiliary ovens to push us... No, not even close. Vexing. Alright, let's adjust the shape further. Push it back by another 2. I'm going to get rid of all of the objects in here and the support pillars. We'll just have that as a bank of auxiliary ovens. Maybe the same up top, actually. Yep. And then, as for the ovens themselves... have them running along. Well, I kind of want this a little bit different. I actually need to bring this down by 1. There you go. Auxiliary ovens on the walls again. Go. And pop that. And that. More ovens. There. Actually, if I pop this one back, yeah, I can probably get a slightly bigger oven there. And now I'll start replacing these until... Oh, wow, okay. Maybe able to get... There we are. How many auxiliary ovens do I need to bring that back up to 100%? There we go. And I could have this entire wall dedicated to storage. Something along those lines. Now, if I just expand this oven out... Oh, I can't go much further than that. So let's do this, and then see how much of an auxiliary oven I need here. Oh, there we go. So we've got 20 extra bakers. I mean, it's not the best room, but it'll do. We're going to need to bring the grain over, though, which is a bit more of a potch. We'll have a warehouse just up top here, on the length of this wall. 2 ways in, one there, and then just fill this wall out with crates. Oops. Job's a good one. Now that's going to need a lot more workers though, so let's go ahead and get them in here. Now, fish-wise, we're doing okay. I can probably turn off the import of any fish, frankly. Also, as much as I speak of wanting organic kind of streets, this is not the goal right now. Like here. This is just convenience happening. We will absolutely be changing this up eventually. It is not a giant priority yet, though. I would like to bring all of the grain. Oh, actually, I want 1, 2, 3. Am I using coal in the ovens? I'm using wood. Okay. So we'll use 3 of these for wood as well. In fact, I would like 4 of them for wood. There you go. Yeah. Something. There's no nothing more temporary than a... Sorry, nothing more permanent than a temporary solution. Yeah. My goodness, look at that thing there. That is swanky. The Amoebius are going full bore on this. Oh wow, they've got 4 people employed there. You know, maybe I should tell all of my janitors to go automatic employment. And just see how that pans out for them. But we are bringing in... Oh. May the gods save us. Jake the Invincible has struck again. Davilia Vrunipade, 72, was found this morning. Again, a tilapia. Again, the body has its eyes removed. My lord, we are dealing with a serial killer preying on our tilapia subject. Fear and discontent is growing. Jake the Invincible must be stopped at all costs. Another note was found. You must be asking yourselves by now, why am I doing this? Well, I am simply continuing the work of my forefathers, who were betrayed in the age of Bath. I am feeding Torim, the drowned god of the underworld. Once he is fed in full, he will awaken, and together we will rule this world and the pitiful people within. 2 eyewitnesses claim to have seen Keenan Goldsmile at the scene of the crime, on the eve of the murder. The suspect has been interrogated, and while claiming innocence, acts very suspiciously. We should arrest this person and get a confession through torture. Do we? Give me a second then. Who was it again? 'Twas Keenan Goldsmile. Very well, Keenan Goldsmile. We're looking for a K name. Are you Keenan Goldsmile? There you go. Dondorian, I knew it! Keenan Goldsmile, age 24, Dondorian, plebeian, doing everything possible to serve you best as a guard. He's a guard? You have brought great dishonor on the guard profession. They're in good health, weigh an impressive 88 stones, and stand 6.4 tath tall. The god of his kin is Arthuri. Described as being a hopeless romantic, he has immigrated to your city, originates from a village in the region of Aavak. Resides in a humble house in the central part of the city, together with Jag Williamson, Pardibal, Ashfall, and Cience Carmelitarno. Levethics is not enlisted in my armed forces, is working hard for your majesty in guard post number 1. Efficiency is one of its main priorities, always aspired to be a carpenter. Feels that there are a few improvements in the city. Our city is in danger of being raided. We need means to defend ourselves. We wish to be able to retire at an earlier age. More indoctrination. My lord, it is customary for a great ruler to pardon a prisoner from time to time. It lifts the spirits of all those wrongfully convicted. Suspicious! However, one thing I will say is Dondorians don't tend towards sanity problems. They're actually incredibly stable mentally. Like, they are very stable. I'm not sure if a Dondorian would... I mean, I guess that's a very idyllic way of thinking. Oh yeah, people who kill people, they must be insane. There's something broken in their head. No, they might just not like other people. Hey, Dr. Opossum. I guess it's Dr. Possum, really, isn't it? You don't pronounce the O. I'm not sure if I feel that this person is Jack the Invincible, honestly. As much as they might act suspiciously. I'm not sure. What say you, chat? Is Keenan Goldsmile here a scallywag? Does this well-washed Dondorian gentleman give off serial killer vibes? Baldoric says it seems too convenient. Queen Guerrero says nah. Gearsworth says I don't think so. Yeah, I think chat is generally leaning towards Keenan not being the culprit, because you can get this wrong. So I'm going to say no, we don't torture them. Because whether this is a good thing or a bad thing, if we decide that someone is guilty, they will admit to doing what we said that they were guilty of. Through the liberal application of torture, you can extract a confession for whatever it is that you were interrogating them on, which is perhaps a little bit too close to the bone in some ways, but it is a genuine concern. You can't get a real... without some further way of gathering evidence, you literally can't tell. Because when you can force someone to say what they think you want to hear, you can't trust anything that they're going to say. And so we're in this predicament, unfortunately.